hard time. The heart of doing time is doing time without becoming undone. They asked me once if I believed in hell, not fire and sulfur, not the kind written about in red letter warnings or depicted in oil paintings with gnashing teeth, but hell as a condition, as a long and narrow room where the lights don't change and no one speaks unless they're trying to remember the sound of their own voice. I said, yes, I do believe in that hell. I have seen it, and its name is time. Not time as measured by a wristwatch, no. That time is for tourists. I'm talking about the kind of time that piles up against your ribs, that gets into the seams of your thoughts and sours them slowly. The kind that stretches like a shadow until you forget what noon feels like. The kind that doesn't tick or talk, it presses, softly, without end. That's what the fragment means. The heart of doing time is doing time without becoming undone. There's a cleverness to it, yes, but that cleverness is just the doorway. The truth is sitting in the next room, arms folded, waiting to see if you'll walk all the way in. Doing time is not just a figure of speech. For some, it's a sentence. For others, it's a season. For all of us, it's a condition of being alive long enough to face something we did not choose. Let me tell you how it works. First comes the silence, real silence, the kind you can hear brushing up against your bones. No music, no small talk, just the sound of your own mind trying to form words out of dust. You think you'll fill the space. You imagine you'll read or pray or exercise or dream. But after a few days, you notice the silence is not empty. It's filled with pressure, with time. Then comes the forgetting. You forget what day it is, not because you've stopped counting, but because the counting has stopped mattering. Monday turns to Tuesday without resistance. The seasons don't announce themselves. Everything becomes a kind of gray repetition. Even your thoughts start looping. You think you've had a new idea until you realize it's just an old one wearing a different coat. This is what it means to be undone. People think coming undone looks like screaming. No, that's drama. That's the kind of unraveling that gets you attention. But the real undoing is silent. It happens slowly, like a frayed thread you keep trying not to notice. You forget your favorite song. You forget your mother's handwriting. You forget how you used to tell stories at dinner. And one morning you wake up and realize you've forgotten how to be yourself. And that right there, that's the heart of doing time. It's not the rules. It's not the fences. It's not the waiting. It's the erosion of your center. Now, not everyone becomes undone. Some do, some don't, and there's no simple reason why. I've seen men sing to themselves every morning, not because they had hope, but because the song held them together. I've seen women write their names over and over again in notebooks, as if that act alone could tether them to something true. I've seen men recite stories backwards just to prove to themselves they still had command of the narrative. Form resists erosion. A name repeated in the dark is a kind of shield. A sentence memorized and spoken with care can be a bridge. A ritual, however small, is a rebellion against the flood. That's the difference between doing time and being done by it. I remember once I met a man named Elias. He'd been inside for 22 years. Didn't say much, didn't look weathered or broken. Just still. When I asked him how he did it, how he stayed himself, he said this: "You make a shape and you hold it. That's all. Doesn't matter what shape, just hold it." I didn't understand at the time. Now I do. To be alive inside of time, especially hard time, you must shape yourself against it. Time, you see, is formless. It wants to flow. And if you don't set your edges, it'll dissolve you into itself. So, the trick, if there is one, is to carve a groove, make a shape, a song, a phrase, a prayer, a silence you choose instead of the one you're given. You don't beat time. That's a fool's game. What you do is outlast its pressure. You declare yourself, "I will not become undone." And then you prove it, every day, in small, invisible ways. Now, I won't lie to you. Sometimes even the best of us bend, Sometimes a piece of us does come undone, a corner of memory, a name we used to wear proudly, a story we once believed in. Time gets its due. It always does. But the line, that fragment, it's not about perfection. It's about defiance. To do time without becoming undone means to resist the gravitational pull of forgetting, to choose form when all else melts, to be a person even when there's no one watching. That's hard time. That's real time. And it is sacred. Because in that crucible where time is trying to undo you, you get to see what you're really made of. Not what you planned, not what you told people, but what you actually hold when there's nothing left to lean on. So, yes, I believe in hell. And I believe in those who've walked through it and emerged with something intact, a sentence, a name, a line etched on the wall that no one else will ever read. But they read it, and it held,